They thought the cameras weren't watching. They thought the stadium lights would hide their secret. They thought wrong. What you're about to discover isn't just another corporate scandal. It's the unraveling of a carefully constructed web of deception that took years to build and 20 seconds to destroy. This is the story of how two people's moment of passion exposed a pattern of abuse that reached the highest levels of corporate America, revealing secrets that some would kill to keep buried. By the end of this story, you'll understand why former employees are calling this moment Karma in 4000 Resolution, and why the woman at the center of it all has been hiding from public view ever since. But first, let me tell you about the night everything changed forever. The stadium was electric. 65,000 fans screaming. Chris Martin commanding the stage. And somewhere in that sea of faces, a secret was about to explode that would send shockwaves through Silicon Valley. What happened next would destroy marriages, end careers, and reveal a truth so shocking that even now, months later, the people involved refuse to speak publicly. This is that story. Astronomer's HR director, Kristen Kit, was spotted for the first time since the Coldplay Kiss Cam scandal that destroyed her career. One kiss, one career, gone. What seemed innocent became devastating public execution. In 20 seconds, CEO Andy Byron lost everything: job, marriage, potentially half his fortune. Gillette Stadium, summer night. Coldplay dazzled 65,000 fans when Jumbotron cameras found them, a man and woman sitting awkwardly close, frozen in silence. Chris Martin paused. Either they're having an affair, or they're very shy. Laughter erupted. But online, chaos ignited. TikToker Grace Springer posted with 3 words, "Trouble in Paradise." 125 million views later, it wasn't funny, it was digital wildfire. This wasn't just kiss cam weirdness. This was a secret caught in 4000 before the world. 17 minutes. That's all internet detectives needed. Names were out. Andy Byron, CEO of billion-dollar Astronomer. Kristen Kit, Chief People Officer, both married to others. The internet gasped. CEO and HR head cuddling like nobody watched, except everyone did. People weren't just shocked, they were furious. How could a millionaire with wife and kids make such public mistakes? Worse, how could the ethics enforcer become the scandal? By morning, Astronomer was America's most Googled company. The board issued sanitized statements about values and accountability. Within 24 hours, Andy was on leave. Kristen followed. Soon, both were gone, resigned, removed, wiped from corporate records. Former employees came forward with stories. Was this his second affair? How long had this continued? The kiss became secondary. The downfall was the story. Andy Byron now represented corporate misconduct. Comments disabled couldn't stop internet fury. What started as camera glitch became full corporate reckoning. Crisis teams scrambled as leadership went silent. When CEO and HR become the scandal, nobody's left to clean up the mess. Andy's LinkedIn professional page was completely deactivated. No trace of his executive title remained visible, no sign of his previous role, no professional photo, no posts or updates, just complete digital silence. What had started as a simple camera glitch on a concert screen had evolved into a full-scale corporate reckoning within the company. Internal whispers transformed into emergency war rooms. Crisis public relations teams were immediately brought in for damage control. Human resources policies were comprehensively re-reviewed and updated. Everyone in leadership positions became suddenly very, very quiet and cautious. Because when both the CEO and head of HR become the scandal themselves, there's literally no one left in authority to clean up the massive mess. Just damage control efforts, just fallout management, just the overwhelming weight of one kiss transforming a billion-dollar brand into a cautionary tale for other corporations. Then, complete chaos erupted across all platforms. As the internet exploded with reactions, a screenshot surfaced claiming to show a public apology from Andy Byron himself. The message appeared heartfelt, genuinely remorseful, and filled with corporate buzzwords like accountability, reflection, and privacy protection. What was meant to be a night of music and joy became a deeply personal mistake played out on a very public stage. I have apologized sincerely to my wife, my family, and my professional team. You all deserve much better from me. This is not who I want to be as a person. The statement ended with a dramatic line quoting Coldplay lyrics. "Lights will guide you home, and I will try to fix you." People consumed the content eagerly. Some individuals forgave him completely, while others criticized him even more harshly. However, one thing was absolutely certain. Everyone believed the statement was completely real until it wasn't genuine. Just 24 hours later, Astronomer issued a sharp clarification statement. Andy Byron has not made any public statement whatsoever. Reports claiming otherwise are completely incorrect. The post that circulated was fake, generated content, and posted to a random Facebook page. No verification exists, no reliable source. Suddenly, the internet felt deceived and manipulated again. Was it artificial intelligence? Was it fan fiction? Was it damage control gone completely rogue? Even more bizarre, another statement began circulating online, this time allegedly from Andy's wife, Megan. "It has come to my attention, and apparently to the attention of half the internet, that my husband, Andrew Byron, has made certain choices, public ones, under stadium lights during a Coldplay concert, a venue not typically associated with infidelity. But here we are facing this reality. Let me be perfectly clear about my position. I am not issuing this statement in defense nor in heartbreak. I am issuing it in power, in precision, in silk gloves, and sharpened wit." The formal letter was filled with cutting lines, poetic venom, and a tone so polished it could have originated from a movie script. But that statement was also completely fabricated. Megan never spoke publicly. Andy never spoke publicly. Kristen never spoke publicly. Only the internet spoke continuously. Louder, faster, and messier than any professional PR team could ever effectively handle. In a world where silence represents power, fake content fills the vacuum, and no one knows what's actually real anymore. While the internet debated, laughed, and speculated endlessly, something quieter was unraveling completely. A marriage, a family unit, a respected name. Somewhere, a woman woke up to thousands of notifications flooding her devices. A video she never requested or wanted. A betrayal she didn't see coming. Now playing on continuous loop for the entire world to judge harshly. Her name is Megan, wife of Andy Byron, mother of his children. People found her social media accounts easily. They flooded her with sympathy messages. "Stay strong. You don't deserve this treatment. We're on your side completely." Some said she appeared kind, that she was raising her children well, that she didn't deserve to be humiliated on a stadium screen. In the quietest act of all, Megan deleted his last name from her Facebook profile. By morning, it was completely gone. No Byron, no marriage status, no trace of who he used to be to her personally. Then she deactivated the account completely. Because how do you even begin to explain to your children that their father became a viral scandal, that their school, their college, their future workplaces might all know that infamous clip? One TikTok user said it best: "Imagine having to go through life Knowing your dad was the guy caught cuddling his mistress on the Jumbotron at a Coldplay concert. It's not just a meme, not just gossip entertainment. This represents someone's home collapsing in real time. This time, the algorithm didn't just destroy a career, it completely shattered a family unit. As the story continued unfolding, a question echoed across social media platforms. Is Andy Byron about to lose everything he's worked for? Every comment section asked the same pressing question. Will his wife take half of his assets? Will the company strip him of his ownership stake? Will this be the most expensive kiss in Coldplay history? People imagined dramatic courtroom scenes. A judge slamming the gavel decisively. Child support tripled in amount. Alimony doubled in payments. A verdict that begins with what happened on that Jumbotron screen. It felt cinematic, poetic, and fitting for the situation. But reality, as always, proves less dramatic than the fantasy. Enter Sapphire Legal, a California-based divorce attorney who went viral for explaining the hard truth about divorce law. Massachusetts, where Andy and Meghan live, is a no-fault divorce state, which means that even if you cheat, you don't automatically lose more assets. Judges can consider misconduct, but infidelity isn't a guaranteed payout increase. There's no legal clause specifically for being caught in 4,000 resolution. Just like that, the internet's favorite revenge fantasy deflated completely. Still, it doesn't mean Andy walks away completely unscathed from this situation. His name is permanently tarnished. His company position is lost forever. His LinkedIn is gone. His marriage is over. Whatever money he keeps comes with a significant cost, because now his children carry his name in whispers. His face has become a meme. Every business deal moving forward begins with a Google search of his name. Sometimes the price isn't paid in dollars. Sometimes the price is everything else that matters. Here's where things get truly twisted and ironic. Because Kristen Kit wasn't just anyone at Astronomer Corporation. She was the chief people officer, the head of human resources, the person specifically in charge of upholding ethics, accountability, and workplace integrity throughout the organization. Yet, she was at the center of the scandal, cuddling with the CEO, at a concert, on camera, while married to someone else. The irony? Absolutely brutal. The implications? Even worse. Who investigates HR when HR is the problem? Who handles misconduct when the conduct comes from the top leadership? The questions piled up continuously, and then people began pointing suspiciously at the third person in the infamous video. The woman sitting beside Kristen, smiling nervously, turning her face away from the camera purposefully. Was she part of HR too? Was this a company outing? Did she know about the affair? Did she help cover it up? Speculation exploded across platforms. Her face was matched to Alyssa Stoddard, another senior HR leader at Astronomer, recently promoted just days before the concert. Theories ran wild online. Was her promotion a reward for silence? Was everyone in HR aware of the affair? The company soon clarified that woman wasn't Alyssa, just a lookalike. Still, the damage was already done. Because when your CEO cheats with the head of HR and the entire company finds out through TikTok, you no longer have a functioning HR department, you have a liability, a risk, a leadership vacuum. In that silence, trust collapses from the top down. While Astronomer executives scrambled frantically behind closed doors, outside those corporate walls, some people were actually celebrating this dramatic turn of events. Former employees, colleagues who had worked directly under Andy Byron's leadership, people who had maintained their silence for far too long, were finally speaking out. They weren't surprised by these revelations. They felt relieved, vindicated, and justified in their previous suspicions. Group chat conversations lit up like wildfire across social media platforms. Screenshots flew rapidly between networks. Memes were created and shared instantly, and one former employee captured the sentiment perfectly. Everybody's laughing their ass off watching him get completely exposed. According to numerous sources, this wasn't his first major scandal or his first extramarital affair. Andy Byron had developed quite a reputation as an aggressive, sales-obsessed executive who pushed extremely hard and listened very little to others' concerns. At his previous company, Cyber Reason, he was widely rumored to have conducted an affair with a sales representative. While married, while holding a significant position of power over subordinates, other victims came forward courageously. One woman, a former employee, shared her painful story publicly on TikTok. She spoke of broken promises, grand visions that never materialized, joining his company with genuine dreams of financial freedom and professional growth, only to watch everything collapse spectacularly. While Andy departed with a substantial golden parachute, employees lost their stock options, their life savings, their planned future. She concluded with this powerful statement: "If you take advantage of people long enough, karma will eventually find you." And sometimes karma wears a Coldplay t-shirt. What happened at Gillette Stadium wasn't just another corporate scandal. It represented justice, public, poetic, and long overdue accountability. Because ultimately, it wasn't just about a kiss. It was a mirror, reflecting back every power play, every calculated lie, every promise deliberately broken. This time, everyone got to watch it fall completely. The past inevitably caught up with him. According to multiple reliable sources, this wasn't Andy Byron's first time engaging in such behavior. Back when he served as an executive at Cyber Reason, persistent rumors circulated about another inappropriate affair. Different company, identical story pattern. Married, powerful, and caught up in an inappropriate relationship, this time with a sales employee under his direct supervision. Some people who still work there remember the whispers clearly, the sudden unexplained promotions, the awkward silences during meetings. Now those whispers have transformed into viral TikToks, into detailed threads, into shared stories across platforms. The carefully crafted image of Andy Byron as a sharp visionary leader is cracking systematically, one layer at a time. He was always charming, one former colleague shared openly. Good at convincing people to believe in his version of the future. But charm only goes so far, especially when paired with control, manipulation, and a long trail of people who feel used and discarded. This isn't just a fall from grace. It's a recognizable pattern, one that was allowed to repeat continuously until the spotlight of a Coldplay concert made it impossible to hide any longer. Scandals don't start on stadium screens. They end there dramatically. This particular scandal had been building quietly for years, waiting for the right moment to explode publicly. As the story grew exponentially, so did the desperate excuses. Some online defenders claimed that Kristen wasn't cuddling intimately, she was choking and needed assistance. They argued that Andy wasn't getting cozy romantically, he was performing the Heimlich maneuver to save her life. Others insisted it was simply a company outing, that everyone from Astronomer was present that evening, that absolutely nothing inappropriate had happened. But then, another video surfaced dramatically, shot from a completely different angle, different mobile phone, same guilty couple. This time they weren't just touching casually, they were kissing passionately, clear, undeniable, documented evidence. Whatever shred of plausible deniability they had desperately clung to was completely gone. The new footage showed them intimately close, whispering secrets, smiling knowingly, leaning into each other like no one else existed in their private world, except thousands of people were actively watching their every movement. Now millions more would analyze it frame by frame obsessively, so no, This wasn't the Heimlich maneuver. This wasn't accidental contact, and it certainly wasn't innocent interaction. It was real, authentic attraction. It was public display, and it was permanent documentation because the internet never forgets anything. When your best defense strategy is claiming, "She was choking," you're not saving face gracefully, you're just proving you already lost the game completely. In the days that followed this revelation, the dominoes fell with frightening speed. Andy Byron resigned from Astronomer immediately. Kristen Kit followed suit quickly. Official statements were posted repeatedly, filled with familiar words like values, conduct, and accountability. But at this point, no one was really listening anymore. Andy's LinkedIn was permanently gone. Kristen's too. No updates, no explanations, just deafening silence. The world kept watching obsessively. The clip kept playing endlessly, and the memes kept coming relentlessly, because this wasn't just about two people making a terrible mistake. It was about power abuse, the dangerous illusion of control, and how quickly everything can collapse under the weight of one bad decision made publicly under bright stadium lights. Coldplay moved on professionally. The tour continued successfully. Chris Martin, now more cautious than before, began asking couples featured on the Jumbotron, "Are you really together?" But for Andy Byron, there is no next song, no encore, no quiet fade out. Just a legacy rewritten by a camera, a concert, and a crowd that witnessed too much. His downfall may have taken 20 seconds, but its echo will reverberate for years to come. And if you think this was just another cheating scandal, look again more carefully, because in a world ruled by power, status, and data, one wrong kiss can bring down an entire empire built on lies. The Kiss Cam didn't just catch an affair, it exposed a systematic pattern of predatory behavior hidden for years. What the world saw was evidence of corporate corruption, abuse of power, and systematic silencing of victims that finally came crashing down in 20 seconds of stadium lighting.